Welcome, affiliated listeners, to another episode of the Affiliated Podcast. And guys, today I'm really excited because we always often talk about a lot of marketing tactics. We talk about business ideas. We even talk about stories of people, finding their journeys. But today I'm bringing you something that's a little bit different. Today I'm bringing you a chance to be first. We're bringing you an opportunity. And right now, I know a lot of people out there in this industry are finding ways to squeeze the margins, get more cash when it feels like a cash constrictive environment in general, which is why this is an episode you need to listen to, and you definitely need to pay attention to our guest today because he understands that and is bringing you not just a lifeline, but a really fantastic, fun opportunity to build off your expertise, things you're already doing, and turn it into cold, hard cash that you can inject into your business or just inject into your life. So really, really fun, exciting thing. And on top of that, if you stay around, there's even a way that this could impact your business in a really, really substantial way at the very end. So that being said, I'm going to be introducing Jason Smith today. Jason is going to be coming with us and talking about this exciting opportunity. But before that, Jason, just say hi to the people. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, man? How did you get into, I guess, the industry we're in, kind of aware of everything we're going to be discussing here soon?
So thanks a lot. Great to be on the podcast, and hi to all your listeners. Now, I'm basically a tech guy. I've been a part of a few startups over the days, and really have come to be involved in a lot of travel-based work as well. So we've looked at a lot of different things. And we're introducing a new product that we've built out a platform right now that uses AI to make a human connection. And everyone's talking a lot about AI. It's almost becoming an overused term, but we do know how important and valuable it is. And it's going to be to all different industries moving forward, right? So what we decided to do is we had recognize a real gap where the reviews and travel review sites really missing the boat with like contacts and trust. And we know if you're a brand, a company, or an affiliate out there, you need to make that trust connection with your customer. People who are not thinking about trust are going to lose business down the road.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. And I love what you're talking about because I think one of the things we see in AI, and even when we see consumers where they trust AI, if you talk to people, they trust it to a point, right? They trust it in the absence of a real person that they actually know that could give them the information. And funny, I think with travel, it's massive. I can actually tell you, we've been for the last probably 18 months, we've been planning a family trip to Australia. That's a big trip, right? Like taking our horde of children all the way, to a really, really long ways away.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that just would, no matter how many AI stuff we did, and even trying to look into doing a travel agent, somebody could book the whole trip. My wife just really wanted to talk to somebody to alleviate those concerns, to ask the questions that she can't even think that she needs to ask, which makes those challenges with AI. And it's just a trust factor. She's like, yeah, but AI hasn't been there. How is AI going to know? It can't know everything. It can't know that. And there's just a lack of, even if it's just someone petting your head and saying it's going to be okay, you really want that to come from a real person versus a robot, right? You want it to be
Well,
something
you kind
real.
of nailed it there because it's that comfort, right? Trust instills confidence and comfort, right? And trust from a business perspective is going to help conversions. Whatever
Yes.
business and vertical you're in, it's going to help conversions. So, perfect example about your trip to Australia. It sounds fun. Now, what we're doing is we created triprecos.com. Triprecos.com is a recommendation site for travel. And we're using AI and a 100 different nuances to connect two individuals, someone making the recommendation that has an expertise, is a local and has been there. Our AI vets that out and connects with someone who's seeking a recommendation for a restaurant, a flight, a location, a hotel and resort. Currently, we're looking at where do people go? We go to Google reviews, we go to TripAdvisor, and what has happened there is 1 in 3 of those reviews are either incentivized or AI completely or just a fake review. And we all know that.
Yeah.
So how can you trust that? And then the other big gap there is the context to that, right? There's no context. So what your thought of a amazing stay at a hotel can be completely different than another person's. And that's based on many different criteria of lifestyle, personality, preference. So what our AI tool is doing is making that connection. So when you get a recommendation, you're getting a direct recommendation from someone who knows the area, the restaurant, has some tidbits of advice, maybe some secret news, maybe there's a speakeasy around the corner you would never know without it. But we're
Off
making
menu
using our
stuff.
trust. Yeah, we're making using that trust mass intelligent software that we've developed to connect those two things on our Triprecos platform.
That's so cool. Like I just love that too, because I think to myself, like, I know I've had the experience again, not only traveling with my wife, but even traveling for work, where I see something that has good reviews, I'm reading it, but realizing that might be a nice, like a decent hotel or a decent place to stay, but it's in one of the worst neighborhoods in the
Mhm.
entire city. So I ended up one time actually booking a hotel that had good reviews, read everything, but it happened to be a block away from the Mission in Austin, which
Right.
for those that haven't been to downtown Austin, there's a lot of homeless people that hang around the Mission, and it really changed my experience to be much less safe and enjoyable because like literally I walked out of my hotel, and if I didn't go right and I went left, I was
Yeah.
in a very
Completely different
dangerous area.
experience.
Yeah, yeah. So I was
Yeah.
like, and I did not
Yeah.
realize this until I walked directly into that
Right.
experience. So,
So you're
um,
so you're hotel guest A, and what
yep.
they've done is gone there. They've not taken that left. They only took the right. They gave
Mm-hmm.
a glaring, amazing review on something, but
Mm-hmm.
they weren't maybe traveling with your family.
Yep.
They could have been a solo business traveler. They could have been a couple on a romantic getaway, right? So
Mm-hmm.
all these different nuances and contexts come together, and
Yep.
using our algorithms and AI, we can piece those two connections together.
Now, before we kind of go into why this is impactful for the audience and anyone that travels or lives in an area and feels like this is something, we'll kind of get there in a second. But before that,
Yeah.
I want to kind of talk about one of the things that's really interesting about how new this is. And you mentioned before that we're in a market and an economy that trust matters more than anything. Actually, it was
Mhm.
about a year ago, Ezra Firestone had said that we've entered the trust economy, and that has not been more and more evident. I've been doing some research, and actually polling shows that consumer trust has hit an all-time like 30-year low or something like that. It's as
Mhm.
long as they've been
Absolutely.
recording it, it's lower than it ever has been before. And the number one thing people trust right now, even though it's still lower than it has been, is small businesses. It's the idea of that intimate closeness. So I think you've really
Right.
tapped into something that the market has high demand for, and it's early. And so I just bring up the idea of being first. And this is one of these things
Yeah.
that's really, really exciting. The first people that were using, say, Uber, the first people that are enjoying any sort of gig economy product,
Mhm.
or the first people a part of any sort of movement get that first advantage, right? It's the highest payouts, it's the
Mhm.
largest impact, it's a lot of positive things, and you just get to be a part of a movement before everything else comes along and then just becomes a
Right.
standard. And we all know as
Yeah.
marketers, that's the gold mine, right? We all want to be a part of that early experience. So it sounds like really
100%.
with Triprecos, we're in that realm. So talk a little bit about why you
Yeah.
think that for people that are early, this is the time and the advantage
Right.
for them.
So the benefit right now is we're introducing our founder trippies. The trippies are the part of the equation, the individuals that will make those recommendations. Being a founder trippy, and we're introducing it live on your show, to your
Woo.
community first. Yeah.
That
So
that
that's
early,
that's
guys,
that's
that early.
that's early, right? And we're doing this a little preemptive, right? We're doing this prior to our full launch because we want to onboard that database of trippies, and we need to vet those trippies out, which the software will
Hmm.
do, right? But I know
Hmm.
that your community has a lot of the people that would fit this archetype of a trippy very well, and those are people who are well traveled, that understand the difference from one hotel to the next, different types of food and restaurants, being versed in the travel space, right? So being
Hmm.
first as a founding trippy, we're going to be offering certain advantages. For example, there could be things like being able to build a team and a referral system so you can onboard. You'll get the first opportunity to engage with the people making the request for a recommendation. So that first getting there, there's going to be some financial advantages as well, right? So with the referral system, building a team, um, and then we haven't exactly determined how we will adjust those things, but we will be offering a more favorable return for our founding trippies as well.
Nice. So yeah, just like I said, you get all the benefits. You're getting the best deal right from the get go for being
Yeah,
early. So let's talk a
yeah.
little bit about what I said. You kind of defined why our audience is so perfect. And a lot of the listeners out there should go, oh yeah, like we talk like obviously the affiliate world it leans towards our online marketing world, leans towards the idea of freedom of location. I could be anywhere, I
Mhm.
could travel a lot of places, I could spend extended time there. And we're just definitely more than the average person. We're not just traveling, we're experiencing in a
You're
lot more
experiencing
areas.
in somewhat a nomadic community in some
Yeah.
cases too, right?
Yeah, which tend to know. I mean, that's one where you could I imagine you're able to know, okay, let's say you're in this is one thing a lot of people that say they travel outside the United States. One of the things you don't always realize is what areas are you going to feel like a real massive foreigner where it almost becomes an impediment to be able to get
Mm,
around. Like, for
yep.
example, Japan. If you go outside Tokyo or even in Japan and you do not speak Japanese, you're going to have a really rough time.
Hmm.
It's going to be incredibly hard for you to just navigate around, let alone, get to where you want to go or do the things that you want to do.
Right.
So
You're
I
you're
did
you're
not. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're touching on, that experience piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
So getting a review of a great hotel is one thing. Oh, this hotel's beautiful, 5 stars. But when you
Mm-hmm.
visit, that element of the language barrier, how
Yeah.
is that impacting outside of the hotel? Because what a lot of people doing in traveling I call it leaving the resort.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people never leave. So some people do a lot of traveling and it's very siloed. You're in a
Mm-hmm.
gated space. You think you've experienced Puerto Rico, you've experienced, Ibiza, whatever it might be, but maybe you didn't get around the island. You didn't get around and do things, right? So that kind of recommendation will give you the confidence to say, hey, I hear there's a great taco stand down the street. It's off the hotel grounds, but let's give it a shot. Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, see, that's amazing. So I think I could see why that fits so well into their profile. Now, one of the other things I'm curious about, because I think one of the other benefits here, it's also an opportunity because I think a lot of people in this nomadic space, it can be very isolating, right? It's isolating to
Yeah.
just kind of struggle. I know a lot of times I ever tell people I'm going to go somewhere they've been, I don't even have to ask for recommendations. They just start flowing it out. And a lot
Well,
of it's because of connection, right? They just want
yeah.
connection. So the other part of this is what a great way to connect on your expertise with all these other people that are about to experience where you've been or even
Hmm.
where you are right now.
Yeah.
And it's just a fantastic connection point. Would you kind of agree with that this is a great way to maybe just feel more connected with folks?
It's absolutely a way to build a community and connections for sure, because you're going to be communicating directly to these people seeking, advice or
Hmm.
recommendations, right?
Yeah.
And that piece is, and that's an ongoing building relationship, so
Hmm.
that can take many different forms. When you think about it, you're getting, and it, there should be some like connections. And the reason why you're matched with that person, because there will be some elements that why the technology has matched you to. So inside
Hmm.
that profile and that onboarding process and using the AI, it's going to make those things. So that's really important. And really, we're doing business now in more of a virtual world. There's almost like
Hmm.
a virtual handshake. People, for centuries of doing commerce and trade, built a relationship one on one or face to face. You're looking into someone's eye, shaking that hand, and that kind of solidified in trust and connection. Nowadays, the commerce and trade industries have changed. The ecosystem's different, and a lot of it's virtual, online. You may never meet in person the person you're transacting with. So, instilling that more confidence using the platform is going to help everything.
No, I love that. I think you're really right. We've almost, I keep seeing, and this is kind of a trend I feel like not enough people are paying attention to, but we live in such a globalized world. Like
Mhm.
everything is available to us all the time. And I think as a culture, we've been like, I'm not sure I like this, right? It comes with a very large cost of all
Yeah,
this data, all this globalization has created a real dissonance and a distance between us and other people because everything is at scale, everything scale.
yeah,
When really I just want someone to talk to me and treat me like a human being with being another human being. So I
exactly.
think that's so big and so key, and why I almost feel like this is not only a great opportunity for people from a monetary standpoint, but also like a mental health standpoint, building more
Yeah.
community, more human connections through like and common interests. Because what you've described on the software and what it's doing with the matchmaking using AI, I mean, it's almost like a platonic dating site on common interests. Like, obviously, you don't want to be
Yeah.
dating families, but what a great way to match and find some friends, right?
Well, that's what we kind of look at. We're kind of like Match meets Uber meets TripAdvisor, right? It's a
Yeah.
culmination of all those sort of things. And yeah, and the ability to monetize is important, right? So it doesn't
Hmm.
cost anything to become a trippy, right? You just have to have, the credentials enough that you have the experience to give a proper recommendation, right?
Yeah.
To actually know something. We have an option if you're a local. So, for example, if you're a local in New York City, you can be selected as a local. If someone's seeking some insider local advice, they can connect to that local. That might be you may be walking down the street, you're in Times Square. It's crazy. Where do I go and get a sandwich? Hit Triprecos, search, get connected and get that recommendation that someone else wouldn't get, and you don't have that fatigue element of going
Mhm.
over reviews. A big part of this is review confusion. There's so much information, way too much information. You can't make a decision, and people are nervous. A lot of these travel expenses are big. They want to be confident in their purchase decision, and TripRecos helps you be more confident in that purchase decision.
Yeah, no, for sure. Man, again, I use my wife as an example. She is the target demo because it is the anxiety of just she doesn't trust anything on the internet. Most of us
Yeah,
don't, right? It's like, is that real?
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I haven't been there. I have no one to talk
exactly.
to. I just want to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's going to be a like-minded individual just reduces it even more. I think that's so
Hmm.
fantastic. So
Hmm.
before we go into the platform, because as we talk about monetization, I want to kind of talk a little bit more how that works, what the platform works like, what kind of the monetization model is, so people can understand the business a little bit deeper. And you kind of
Yeah.
alluded to some of this at the beginning, but like, where did the idea come from? Walk me through the origin story. You said, "Gosh, I just wish," right? Or how do you end up creating Triprecos?
Well, it came out of, frustration reading reviews,
Okay.
frustration and going to, we have a couple sizzle reels that you can catch on the website and things like that. But, there's a great one where talking about nightlife, so one person's idea of nightlife might be, a lounge bar. And the other
Mm-hmm.
person's looking to, straight up clubbing kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you get there, you get really disappointed. If your goal was nightlife and someone said, "Oh, it's a beautiful bar, this and that," but that demographic was older, perhaps, different sort of vibe, and you're
Yeah.
25 years old, you're taking that recommendation, not knowing who's writing that review. You go in kind of blind. You got some advice, you get there, and then you're really disappointed. You've spent, whatever, three, four, five, $6,000 to go to a resort, for example, and the place shuts down at 10 o'clock. You're 25. This is going to be a bummer for you.
Yep. Yep. No, for
So
sure.
we were just
That's
simply frustrated, and we decided there's got to be a better way. We came up with a way to do it, and then we thought, well, what incentivizes the trippies? Why
mm-hmm.
would a trippie want to do this? Well, inherently, people love to give recommendations. I mean, everyone has that friend that's got 100 restaurant recommendations, but they actually have stake in it. And having stake in a recommendation means a lot because you care about the result, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
not just anonymous review. You're actually making a recommendation, and that's coming from you, and you want those people to enjoy that experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically, we're like, okay, this is how it works. And then how do you monetize it? Right? So when we talk about Uber, there's a tipping component. So someone's very happy, just like Uber, you can rate and tip. We have affiliate links, so your community is very familiar with how affiliations will work. And then there's a third piece that we're going to be introducing later that I'm not really going to talk about right now, but that'll be another part of how that gets monetized.
Nice. Perfect. So, well, let's now talk about the platform, what we do have right now. So, we have the tipping, there's some affiliate links, but like, what does it look like so I'm listening to this, I'm like, dude, I want to be a trippy. I have my list of recommendations. This sounds really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What's the platform look like? What's that initial experience kind of like for them to get
Yeah.
signed up and start
So the
using?
first thing is a trippy. So there's two paths. You either are a traveler or you're a trippy. If you want to be a trippy, you go to the site. Right now, the site is only open to trippies. Okay. So you
Hmm.
can't even go and get a recommendation at this stage, but we've opened up the onboarding platform for trippies. So you go to the site, it's going to give you a pop up. You're going to fill out some information. More robust you get with that information on terms of like where your experiences is, and
Hmm.
the app will let you add on to it and add the cities, add the locations. Once you're done that, you're done. We're going to be reaching out to you in the coming weeks and basically finalizing how we're going to set up things. There'll be an opportunity, connect your accounts, maybe your PayPal, Venmo, whatever you might be doing to ensure you're getting payment. But this initial phase of the experience for the trippies is going to be basically giving you your basic information, some of your areas of expertise, and we get that in our database, and then we're ready to reach out to you after.
Nice. Now, what if, so how do you keep like, lots of clients still really busy. They go through periods of like, do I want to have a call? Like, what's kind of the process? Is there a way for you to say, hey, I've had enough for the week, I'm good, or I'm not overloaded right
Absolutely.
now? And then does everything have to be a phone call? Could it be a text? What's kind of the way to
Right.
communicate and engage with the people
Right.
asking for the referrals?
So basically, when you're getting onboarded, you have an option. You can be like, I'm once in a while, I'll be available. You can connect me daily. I'm available at any time. So you set that criteria, right? You can also pause. right? So if you're in the mix of it and you're like, hey, I'm going on vacation, I don't want to have anything to do with this, I can pause it. And of course, you can always ignore it. And that would just make you sort of inactive on the account. And you'd probably get a reminder down the road going, hey, you're inactive. Do you still want to continue or not? But those controls are in place because we don't want, someone, I mean, honestly, you could make this a full time career. But if you want to augment your existing business and you love to give recommendations and you're well traveled, why not be a trippie?
Hmm. Yeah. So, and does in terms of the form of communication, I'm assuming that's also like a checkbox or a selection I can make because maybe
Yeah,
like I hate talking on the phone, like, or I should say this,
yeah.
I hate FaceTiming on the phone. I would rather never do
Oh,
that. I'd
I'll
rather
ignore
have take a phone
everyone.
call. Yeah, yeah, same. But it
Sorry,
makes
I'm
it sound like
busy.
this is our gray hairs are really coming through as we
I
say
know,
this.
I
But
know, I
yeah.
know, I know. Yeah,
um,
I
but yeah.
know.
So are there ways to select kind of
Yeah,
communication preferences as well?
yeah.
Awesome.
So there's in our early phase right now, we have like an internal chat, and we can port you out to WhatsApp. So that
Okay.
automatically can happen. One of those options. We chose WhatsApp just because it's going to be an international community, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, that's
that's
fantastic.
phase one. So down the road, there's going to be some learnings and changes, and we may make the communication platform more robust. But currently, we are able to accommodate everything basically through chat.
Nice, nice. And so that also means that I could keep my information protected. So if we get a match where some families liked me a lot more than I like them and they can't start messaging me and sending me random text messages and stuff like that.
Right.
It's easy. Okay, that's great. That's good.
Yeah. You don't want a cable guy situation.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh man, what a good
It's
Jim
an older
Carrey
reference.
reference.
Older
Yes,
reference.
no, that's awesome. That's awesome. It always makes me the medieval times whenever whenever I think of that movie. That's what
Yeah.
pops in. So oh
Okay.
fantastic. So that's really cool. And so with the platform, just getting signed up, it sounds pretty easy. You just go there, sign up as Trippie, fill out your information, and you're in a couple week period. You're going to start getting those recommendations, getting a taste of that, and seeing how it comes in. Now,
Yeah.
the tip makes a lot of sense, and I imagine there's probably that's going to be well explained to them. I'm sure a lot of people do that, especially when you give a good recommendation. You're going to be so pleased, and I actually think it'd even be better than in the Uber experience because that's almost like a requirement oftentimes, right? But
Yeah.
something like this, you're like, wow, you just really went above and beyond, and it's a lot
Well, a
easier.
good recommendation might even save you money, right? So
Yeah,
there's and it saves you time and it saves you anguish. So
yes.
what is that
Pain
worth, right?
avoidance is
So
something I pay
I
a lot
can
for. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. And I know people will do and people's buying decisions are based on, their how happy they are, right?
yeah.
So
Now talk more
go
on
ahead.
the affiliate links. So you mentioned affiliate stuff and affiliate links. Well, what does that look like? Can you tell me a little bit more about
So
that?
we've negotiated some relationships with some of the largest OTAs that will be able to, provide some of the best returns in terms of your percentage on your affiliate link. So when someone
Okay.
books, they book via your link, similar to any type of affiliate program.
Beautiful. And so when you say OTAs, can you just expand on that for people that might not know what that means? I'm assuming like I have obviously I
It's
want to make
just,
sure the credit.
for example, something like Expedia, your
Yep.
online booking tools. Yeah, something like that.
Nice.
So
So
they'll
you basically get
basically,
him to
yeah,
go through and you say, hey, here's the hotel. I'd recommend booking it through here, blah, blah, blah.
yep,
That's going to be able to give you that affiliate discount. Fantastic. Or
mhm,
affiliate
yep,
revenue as well.
yep.
Awesome.
So that,
So
yeah, and there'd be a master link that goes through Triprecos, and then it passed through down to each of the trippies
beautiful,
that
beautiful.
made that
Well,
recommendation.
one other thing that I really love about this, not necessarily in the flip side, but curious, I know we talked about this before, but I think one of the things that should really take our audience, especially even some of our biggest clients, is something that, hey, this is a way if I get my team doing it, my affiliate managers, there's a way to do this or talking to people. One of the things I love about this, you mentioned there's affiliate relationships right now, but that could expand quite a bit into the future. And there's really
Mhm.
a pretty large distribution network that you'd have a hold of. I imagine if you're an
Yeah.
early trippy, and you want to come to you and say, hey, we have an affiliate offer that works for these people, whether it's teaching people a different language as they travel away, if it's
Mhm.
apps that help you save money on travel, get food. Hell, it could even be, hey, you're going on an international flight. We have products that help you recover from jet lag, right? Whatever that might
100%.
be. You are the most high impactful distribution network to go plug that in, which I think would be really
Mhm.
amazing. So
Yeah.
curious kind of what your thoughts on that are as well, because obviously that won't be a day one thing, but the future potential feels quite large for anybody who
Yeah.
wants to sell any product to a prospective traveler.
Yeah, we really recognized throughout the process because we had focused really on the problem of getting a proper recommendation. And then we realized we were really building a trust and conversion tool, right? And that
Hmm.
trust and conversion tool now is built in a way that we can apply to other verticals. So we can
Nice.
implement this into a health sector where you have, say, a therapist and a patient. We have, or someone requiring, skin products and looking for skin products, right?
Wow.
So there's so many products, so many different offerings and platforms out there. They're all failing to connect on the one big thing, and that's that trust component.
Yeah.
So once we established, trip recos and everything's running smoothly. And that, in fact, actually right now we are already speaking with other verticals, even in like real estate, financial
Oh
investments,
man, yeah.
all sorts of
Service
different
industries to
things.
be huge, I'd imagine.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. See that's again, that's so impactful because as you get that and you start to look at any of these verticals as this grows, that technology, which is a way where we
Hmm.
see AI does a portion of this, right? We know AI is going to do this for people, but like we said, that creates a certain level of distrust. It's not a human being. And that's a great starting
Hmm.
point. But my next thing is then great, I need to be talking with Trip Recos or whatever it might be, health recos or doctor
Yeah.
recos or lawyer recos, whatever it might be. We're
It's
recommending
all
something.
possible. Yeah.
But yeah, so all those in the health phase, any vertical, this represents a
Hmm.
massive new potential distribution network. So being
Hmm.
early, as we talked about at the beginning, has a lot of other advantages beyond just
Yes.
this space, right? Because that
Yeah.
gives you an idea of understanding it, getting your own products in there, or maybe you're just somebody that's an affiliate understanding how to make this whole process work. So tons and
Yeah.
tons of potential. So again, Jason, what's the is it just triprecos.com? What's the best way for people that are listening to
Yep.
get started?
Come to triprecos.com, fill out the form. You're going to get a welcome email. It's going to send you to our social group, and then you can communicate and join on there. Obviously, TripRecos on all your social media, that's there as well. But the easiest way to onboard is triprecos.com and fill out the form.
Fantastic.
We're looking at the founder trippies. Our first 1,000 kind of thing are going to be, partners, to some
Nice.
degree in what we're doing, and we're looking to grow the business and grow their business, because
Mm-hmm.
what we can really do here is grow everyone else's business, particularly in the affiliate category. But while they're doing things they love to do,
Mm-hmm.
people
Yeah.
love to give a recommendation and people love to do travel. So
Yep. Yep. And it gives you a reason to do even more. So I love it. I love it. That's
yeah,
fantastic. So great, Jason. Well, I really appreciate the time. And again, I just want to tell people I think this is a fantastic thing for you're already doing it, right? It gives you a place to give community. It gives you a chance to be a part of something on the come up that I think is going to be huge. As we established before, it fits a market demand that AI can't touch because it has to be a human being, right? It's a
you
real
bet.
person. And through using AI to enhance the matchmaking, it just makes it a better experience for all. So build community, be a part of something early, and most importantly, put some dollars back into your pocket for what you already know and what you're already doing. There's no reason not to leverage your own expertise to make more money. So really appreciate your time,
Absolutely.
man. Really excited to see it. I actually need to sign myself up for being a trippie because my wife and I are both excited to take part, not only being a local for the people that go to Boise, but for all the other places that we've been. So
You
soon I
bet.
guess to be Australia, right? So um,
Yeah, there you go.
beautiful, beautiful, man. Well, hey, really, really great talking to you. Appreciate anything you want to say before we let you go.
Just basically, we're really excited to have anybody come and reach out. Really excited to have you guys come in and get in that founder trippy category because there are going to be benefits to you, and there's no cost to become a trippy. You can only get
Beautiful.
paid.
Beautiful, man. All right. Well, hey guys, go be a founder, right? You found your own
Come on,
companies. Why don't you find another?
come on
So
down.
that's a good one. Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, appreciate it, Jason. Appreciate all of you. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you have any questions about this, or if you missed something and you're like, you just want to email us at affiliated at clickbank.com, be sure to do that. We'll always make sure we can get your information if it fits over to Jason or answer any questions we have, as well as make sure if there's any content out there you say, hey, we'd love for you guys to talk about it. Anyone you'd like us to interview, please make sure to send over. We do look at those. Thomas reads them and then eventually sends them over to me. So really appreciate your time again, Jason. Appreciate all of you. Until next time, as Thomas would say, happy scaling, but be safe out there. Thanks so much, everyone.